Hello Eurovision friends, thank you so much for coming to my channel Eurovision Histories for this, my first chart update video of the 2025 season. I'm very excited about this because I love doing these videos because I love charts. We'll be looking at some of the biggest achievements by some artists of Eurovision 2025, mostly in their own countries, some chart runs that are very impressive as well. We'll look at streaming numbers, and later on we'll also look at some positions in the charts, iTunes, Apple Music, and Spotify at the moment as well. So first of all, I wanted to look at the most streamed entries last week. And here in number one, we have Bara Bara Bastu by Kai with 2.4 million streams. Incredible numbers there for a song in Swedish and Finnish. And Kai will feature a lot in this video because they have really achieved a lot of things already before Eurovision has even started. So well done for them. In second place, C'est la vie by Claude with 1.2 million streams. In third place, as per usual, the Italian entry Volevo essere un duro gets a lot of streams with 1.2 million. Tutta l'Italia got almost a million, 0.9. I think this is the highest a San Marinese entry has ever been on the streaming rankings for Eurovision. And then in fifth place, we have Espresso Macchiato from Estonia with 0.7 million streams. And something that I find incredibly extraordinary and great for Eurovision is that not one of the 5 entries we see there is entirely in English. So Bara Bara Bastu, Swedish, Finnish, C'est la vie, English, yes, but also French, Volevo essere un duro and Tutta l'Italia in Italian, and Espresso Macchiato in English, and something that is sort of like Italian, I guess. And that continues when we look at the next 5. We have Esa Diva from Spain. I was a bit surprised to see that, but apparently this is much more popular than I expected it to be. So great for Melody and Spain with 0.6 million streams. Balla from Germany, also 0.6 million. Maman from France with 500,000 streams, as has Lighter, also 500,000 streams, and Ich komme by Erika Wigman, 0.4 million streams. And again, we have Spanish, we have German, we have French, we have Finnish with some German, and we only have one entry, Lighter from Norway, that has completely English lyrics. I love that. I hope the results of Eurovision will look similar when it comes to the languages, at least. And then I wanted to have a look at the overall lifetime streams of these entries. And as you can see, Volevo essere un duro from Italy has 36 million streams. Obviously, being a Sanremo entry, coming second at Sanremo is a big help, and Italy being a big country also helps. So usually the Italian entries do very well in the streaming charts. In second place, we have Bara Bara Bastu with Kai with 35 million streams, but as we've seen, they are streaming a bit more than Volevo essere un duro, so next week they might actually overtake Italy. Then we have Tutta l'Italia, which was also performed on Sanremo and is a bit of a hit in Italy, as far as I know as well, with 13 million streams. C'est la vie by Claude and Esa Diva by Melody have around 12 million. Sometimes I round it up or round it down. So again, all entries that are at least partly not in English, and I love that. Obviously, most of these streams come from the countries the song is from, or for Bara Bara Bastu from Finland and Sweden, but still it is quite impressive to see that, and it will be interesting to see the development during Eurovision, after Eurovision, so do subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss more chart updates. I also wanted to look at some of the chart runs of some songs at least. Kai and Bara Bara Bastu have now been number 1 in Sweden for 9 consecutive weeks. I tried to find the history of the Swedish charts. I found some records, but most songs that are number 1 for even longer are in English. So this might be the Swedish song with the most weeks at number 1. If you have other information, do let me know in the comments. And then they have also taken Finland by storm. First they were 4th, then 2nd, and then they were number 1 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. Now they're at number 4. And obviously they have achieved 35 million streams on Spotify with a song in Swedish and with some Finnish in it as well. That is really extraordinary, I think. I'm planning a video on the phenomenon that Kai has become the cultural phenomenon in both Sweden and Finland. And I have some ideas already, but if you want to help me, I posted a question in the community tab of my channel. So feel free to let me know why you think Kai is such a phenomenon. I heard that some products are already trying to sell more of their product by including sauna in the promotion and stuff like that. So it has really become a life of its own. It has gotten a life of its own in a way. Then Lucio Corsi, who also streamed 63 million times on Spotify, has had an impressive chart run in Italy, hasn't made it to number one because some other Sanremo songs were above him, but still for a song like this by a singer-songwriter, cantautore, that's a great result. Claude and C'est la vie is very successful in the Netherlands. There are different charts in the Netherlands, but this is the most impressive chart run, third, second, then first for 3 weeks and second again. And I'm guessing once Eurovision starts, he will make it to number one once again. And he has 12 million streams, as we've seen. And then we have Erika Wigman with Ich komme. She hasn't made it to number one as far as I could see, though there are different charts in Finland as well, but has been number two for 2 weeks and in the top 10 for quite a few weeks. Now it's cooled down a little bit. Finnish people are also focusing a lot on Kai, apparently, but I'm sure once Eurovision starts, this will go up the charts once again. That is the chart update when it comes to streaming and charts. Let's look at the current standings of the charts. And I want to start with Spotify because I think it's the most indicative of how popular an entry actually is. It's how many people listen to it, whereas iTunes, for example, sometimes is not that important anymore in a lot of countries, but we're still going to look at that in a second. So as you can see, Kai with Bara Bara Bastu, and this is, by the way, the great website esctracker.com, so check it out if you want to analyze the charts yourself. In first place, we have Kai with Bara Bara Bastu doing incredibly well in Sweden, as you can see, number one there, number 4 in Finland, and it has also made its way to Estonia, 26. That makes a lot of sense, I think, culturally very close to Finland, obviously. In 48th position in Iceland as well, and 135th in Norway. And it's really the only entry that charts outside of its own country already, which is quite impressive indeed, and might be indicative of a good televote, at least from those Nordic and Baltic countries in the end. Tommy Cash is doing very well in his own country, 7th in Estonia. Claude and C'est la vie doing well in the Netherlands in 12th position. Then we have Napa and Deslocado, 29th in Portugal. The song went sort of viral, I think, because of the very touching and relatable lyrics, especially. And we have Erika Wigman with Ich komme, 43rd in Finland. And if we go down, you can see what I said. Most of these entries do well in their own countries, but not really beyond that. Lucio Corsi is 44th in Italy. Catharsis, 62nd in Lithuania. Yuval Raphael, 68th in Israel. Capri Ponte, 97th in Italy. That's not San Marino, obviously, but it is an Italian entry in a way. And then let me switch out the video. Clavdia is 146 in Greece. Now let's look at iTunes. As I've said, not that popular anymore in a lot of countries, but still Tommy Cash and Espresso Macchiato in 15th position in Malta, quite interesting, 27th in Portugal, 65th in Finland, and 67th in Sweden. Estonia doesn't even appear here. Maybe they don't have iTunes anymore, I don't know. But this could also indicate a good televote in the end, but very early days, obviously. Kai doing well here as well, number 1 in Finland, number 5 in Sweden, and 64th in Norway. And as you can see, Loreen and Tattoo still doing really well. I'm not sure whether Ecuador and Fiji just haven't updated their charts in a while, and Hungary as well. That might be the reason for that. Gabri Ponte, Tutta l'Italia, very doing well in Italy, 17th, and also in Malta, 46th. And then Esa Diva by Melody is doing well in Spain and also in Lebanon, which is very interesting. Then Luan and Maman is doing well in France, 68th, and then is also charting in Finland, as is Erika Wigman, 2nd in Finland on iTunes at least. Claude and C'est la vie is in the top 10 in the Netherlands. Lucio Corsi in the top 20 in Italy. Red Sebastian in the top 30 in Belgium. And Adonis and Kiss Kiss Goodbye is in the top 35 in Ireland. Very interesting. I have no idea why that is. If you know, do leave a comment. Zoe May doing well in Switzerland. Voila still charting in Spain for some reason. The Common Linnets and Conchita Wurst as well. So you see that some older Eurovision songs are actually doing better than some of this year's entries. And we see Fairy Tale there, Mirjana Conte doing well in Israel, interestingly as well. Kerje still charting in Finland after 2 years, very impressive. And JJ, one of the big favorites, is 86 in his own country in Austria. Now let's go to Apple Music as well. Here we see once again Kai doing well in Sweden and Finland, first and second there, and also charting in Estonia. So I think Kai can expect a high televote from the Nordic and Baltic countries probably. Tommy Cash doing really well in his own country, Estonia, but also well in Lithuania. I'm not sure how famous he is in the other Baltic countries. Do let me know in the comments as well. Always interested in that. Mirjana Conte doing well in her own country, Malta, in the top 10 there. Claude almost in the top 10 in the Netherlands. Deslocado doing well in Portugal, once again there. Erika Wickman in Finland. Lucio Corsi in Italy. Alyona still doing well in Ukraine, but that is a very good song. The Roop on Fire, for some reason, are charting in Montserrat. And Gabri Ponte in Italy and Loreen in Switzerland. Now, before I let you go, let's also have a quick look at YouTube, which is a bit misleading because not all the performances and videos of all of these songs are actually included here, I think. But San Marino is doing incredibly well, 22 million views. I think the first time ever that San Marino leads this. Italy with almost 12 million, right behind that. Estonia also doing really well. It went viral, so that can be an explanation for that. Sweden not doing as well, but there are other videos of the performance as well. Poland doing really well, the Netherlands, Spain once again, might be Spanish people watching, but that's true for all of them. I think most views for San Marino are from Italy, for Italy from Italy as well. And so not that indicative yet, but we shall see how it changes during Eurovision week. Austria doing well, Finland doing well, Israel doing well, Malta, Albania, Germany, Norway, and France, and all of the others have a few less streams, but that's also sometimes because they are from smaller countries. And at this stage in the Eurovision season, it's mostly people from your own country that listen to your song. However, that will change rather soon because Eurovision week will start in no time, really. And if you want to see the updates and how things change on the charts, on the streaming platforms as well, do subscribe to this channel. I will do regular chart updates from now on. And obviously, there are also lots of other videos as well. Thank you for joining. I'll see you soon if you do subscribe, maybe in my next video, and see you then. Bye bye.